But you have to understand that sometimes when people say certain things or they do certain things, it is not necessarily the person that's in front of you that's doing that. It's not them, that had the desire to do that hurtful thing to you or your family member or whoever. But that's something that it's not easy to understand, and it's not easy to accept all the time, because we are flesh. At the end of the day, we were made from dust. And in the moment, you can get really angry, right? You're just like, how could this person, man?
Exactly. What did I do to you?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
What did I ever do to you? So we go through that. But at the end of the day, when we go back to our secret place, when we go back to God, and the Holy Spirit will show you, like, hey, it wasn't that person. You need to forgive them.
Right.
Or you'll feel that stirring in your spirit, like, man, I need to let that go.
Yes.
Right.
Forgive and release.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Forgiveness is it's a pretty wicked thing, you guys. Unforgiveness rather is a wicked thing.
Yeah.
It can make you do destructive things if you don't let it go and harbor it and let it grow into something that could have not even existed.
Right.
If you'd have just forgiven the person. And sometimes you need God's help to do that.
Yes.
You gotta pray.
Right.
Because in your flesh you're reluctant. I've gone through it. I'm sure you have too. We all go through it.
Of course.
So it's important to go back to the source and just pray. Ask God to help you forgive this person, and He'll do it.
Yes.
He'll do it.
Exactly. I heard a minister say one time that he began to pray for his enemies, and when he began to pray for them, he literally had compassion because he saw the state that they were really in. And so his mind changed as far as looking at them in a different light because they were in this horrible state. And so his prayer was more effective because he changed his view and he saw them in a different light than just being an enemy. You know what I mean? Knowing that the enemy behind the enemy was using them in that way.
That's right.
And why were they being used that way? And what do they have going on that would cause them to do those things? So sometimes when people do things, it's not directly at you. It could be, indirectly, but it may seem directly, but there's something behind that. Not only is it we know a demonic force behind it, but then we also know that sometimes people are dealing with things and they lash out.
That's right.
So we're not to take those things personally. And the only way we have to go to that secret place.
That's right.
And dwell there.
That's right.
And sit there, until sometime the answer comes.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to wait a while. So.
And you do. You do. And it's it takes time because you'll feel okay, okay, I'm good. And then, you'll get a hit again by the dart of the forces of darkness. And then you're feeling depressed again about that same situation.
Yes.
And then you have to go back and it's a constant thing. You have to live in this place.
Yes.
You have to dwell in this place. Just like you live in your dwelling place at home. You live there every night. You dwell there. That's how you have to dwell in the secret place.
That's right. All right, let's read verse 3.
Yes.
Psalm 91, verse 3. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. Surely. Without a doubt.
Yes. And for pestilence, which is really interesting because we're in this COVID season, the definition for that is a contagious or infectious epidemic disease that is violent and devastating, especially the bubonic plague, something that is destructive.
Mm.
And that sounds to me like COVID.
Mm. Mm. Wow.
Yes. Fatal, widespread, an evil influence or deliverer.
Wow. So you hear that? Anybody listening? If you're a Christ believer, a Christ follower, says surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler
Yes.
and from the noisome pestilence.
Yes.
Surely, not sometimes, not if he's in the mood.
All the time.
Surely, he's always going to do it.
Yes.
So you have nothing to fear.
Exactly.
Right before that, in verse 2, in him will I trust.
Yes.
So if you're trusting, there shouldn't be any fear.
Right. Perfect love casts out all fear. And that's perfect love means mature love. And that's a place that you get to. That's not an overnight place.
Yeah.
I'm still processing that. I've been saved for a long time.
Yeah.
But that's not a place that you get to overnight.
Mm-hmm.
That's a place that it's a process to maturity in that.
That's right.
But when you can get to a place of having no fear, because fear is not given by God. You know, he's not even given us that spirit.
That's right.
That doesn't come from God.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're in fear, that you have to rebuke that spirit because God has not given us that.
That's right. That's right.
So,
Casting it out.
Right.
You've got to be the commander of your thoughts.
Yes.
And I know it's easier said than done sometimes, and you get bombarded with fear and doubt and anxious thoughts, and the list goes on and on. At the end of the day, he is there for you. At the end of the day, he is your refuge. He's your fortress.
Yes.
He's your place of peace. He is your comfort. You can have full 100 and trillion% confidence in him. So you have to remember that at all times and use the book is your weapon.
Yes.
It has so much. It has so many chapters. I'm holding it up. You guys can't see it, but it's all here for you. You can Google if you're struggling with fear. Google fear scriptures.
Yes.
Whatever list pops up, read them.
Exactly.
Over and over and over out loud. When you wake up, when you're in your car, when you're at work, when you're driving home, over and over and over.
Yes.
It combats all those ill feelings that are coming at you.
Exactly. There's an app too called Abide. And I actually purchased, I think it's probably about $30 a year. Don't quote me, but I think it's either 30 or 33. But I love it because of the Abide app actually have meditation scriptures. Whatever you're dealing with, you can go in and search for that topic, and it'll give you a list of things, put you to sleep. I mean, it's just full of godly information to help the Christian walk.
That's good.
So it's a great app.
Abide.
And we're just talking about abiding in that secret place, right?
That's right. And the app is called Abide.
It's called Abide.
We'll put a link for you guys on the website so you guys can check out the app.
Yes, that will help a lot.
I encourage you to use that.
Yes. Feeling anxious, anxiety, those things are natural. We have those, but then God gives us his word about anxiety. Don't be anxious for anything, but in prayer and supplication.
That's right.
Make your requests known unto God, right? And may the peace of God that surpasses all understanding give your heart and your mind and keeps it in perfect peace. So you're dealing with that heart and mind. We're just talking about the mind.
That's right. Preach it.
From the
Preach.
from Psalm 91. So we know the Holy Spirit is in here tonight.
That's right. That's right.